During their marriage, Charles's treatment of Diana was often unkind. Yet after her untimely death in 1997, he confessed to reevaluating his feelings toward her. Speculation swirled about this shift. Some anticipated a potential reconciliation, while others thought that Charles truly regretted losing a national wife like Diana. But what exactly prompted this change in Charles's perception of Diana? Let's delve deeper into this mystery by watching the video to its conclusion. Charles had a belated enlightenment about his relationship with Diana after her tragic death. Go back in time to the fateful day when the two officially became each other. As the grandeur of St. Paul's Cathedral filled with the presence of 3,500 guests, the world collectively held its breath, captivated by the unfolding spectacle. The occasion was no ordinary wedding. It was a royal affair, a union between Prince Charles and Lady Diana Spencer, destined to be etched into history. July of 1981 marked the convergence of fairy tale romance and regal tradition, as millions across the globe tuned in to witness the exchange of vows that would bind the future King of England and his elegant bride. With the eyes of 750 million viewers fixed upon their televised ceremony, Prince Charles and Diana appeared as the epitome of romance and regal elegance. Every detail, from the opulent setting of St. Paul's Cathedral to the resplendent attire of the bride and groom, seemed meticulously orchestrated to perfection. The world watched in awe as the young couple exchanged vows, their promises echoing through the hallowed halls, symbolizing a union that promised to transcend time and tradition. Yet, beneath the facade of grandeur and romance, cracks began to emerge, imperceptible to the prying eyes of the public. Princess Diana's iconic remark during a 1995 interview with the BBC, "There were 3 of us in this marriage, so it was a bit crowded," offered a glimpse into the complexities hidden behind the fairy tale facade. What appeared as a match made in heaven was, in reality, fraught with challenges and contradictions. The media frenzy surrounding Prince Charles and Diana was unparalleled, with the press seizing upon every opportunity to dissect their relationship and scrutinize their every move. It began in September of 1980, when the press caught their first glimpse of the couple, and from that moment on, the world was captivated. Prince Charles, it seemed, was smitten with Diana from the start, and their whirlwind courtship only fueled the public's insatiable appetite for news of the royal romance. Despite their brief courtship, just 12 or 13 dates, Prince Charles proposed to Diana in February of 1981 against the backdrop of the historic Windsor Castle. The announcement of their engagement sent shockwaves through the world, igniting a frenzy of media attention and speculation. Yet, even as the world celebrated their impending union, the cracks in their relationship began to surface, foreshadowing the tumultuous years that lay ahead. As the relentless gaze of the press intensified, Princess Diana found herself thrust into the glaring spotlight of public scrutiny, her every move dissected and analyzed by an insatiable media hungry for every detail of her life. The overwhelming attention became suffocating, forcing Diana to seek refuge from the prying lenses of photographers. With her privacy compromised and her sense of security shattered, she was forced to abandon her apartment and seek sanctuary within the walls of Clarence House, the royal residence known for its discretion and seclusion. Meanwhile, Prince Charles, overwhelmed by the mounting pressures of his impending marriage and the relentless scrutiny of the public eye, withdrew into himself, seeking solace in distant lands. Following their engagement, he embarked on a 5-week tour of New Zealand, a journey that would take him far from the tumult of his betrothal and into the serene landscapes of a distant realm. However, before departing, he made a stop that would ignite speculation and sow the seeds of doubt in the heart of his young fiancée. Amidst the chaos of preparations and farewells, Diana watched in silence as Charles made time for Camilla Parker Bowles, a name that would soon become synonymous with heartache and betrayal. The photographers captured a poignant moment at Heathrow Airport as Diana bid farewell to her beloved prince, tears glistening in her eyes. At the time, the scene was interpreted as a touching display of emotion from a devoted fiancé bidding adieu to her beloved. However, behind the facade of stoicism lay a heart torn asunder by the weight of unspoken doubts and unfulfilled expectations. The strains and tensions that had simmered beneath the veneer of royal pomp and ceremony soon erupted into open conflict, shattering the illusion of marital bliss and exposing the fractured foundation upon which their union stood. By 1986, just a few short years after their grand wedding, the cracks in their relationship had deepened into chasms of resentment and disillusionment. It was during this tumultuous period that Prince Charles, burdened by the weight of unfulfilled expectations and stifled desirees, made a fateful admission. In a letter penned to a confidant, he bared his soul, lamenting the incompatibility that had come to define his marriage to Diana. "How awful incompatibility is," he wrote, his words laden with the weight of remorse and regret, "and how dreadfully destructive it can be for the players in this extraordinary drama." In those poignant lines, Charles acknowledged the tragic inevitability of their union's demise, likening their pleat to the timeless tragedies of Greek mythology. It was a stark admission of defeat, a confession of the irreconcilable differences that had torn them apart. Yet, amidst the wreckage of their shattered dreams, Charles harbored a flicker of hope, a desperate yearning for redemption and reconciliation. "I never thought it would end up like this," he confessed, his words echoing with the haunting refrain of lost opportunities and broken promises. In that moment of vulnerability, Prince Charles laid bare the depths of his despair, grappling with the bitter reality of a love lost and a future uncertain. The tragic end to Princess Diana's life in the summer of 1997 shattered any lingering hopes of reconciliation between her and Prince Charles, casting a shadow of finality over their tumultuous relationship. Just 1 year after their official divorce, Diana's untimely death in a car accident sent shockwaves reverberating across the globe, plunging the world into mourning and robbing the royal family of one of its most beloved members. The events of that fateful night, August 31st, 1997, unfolded with a cruel and heartbreaking inevitability. As Princess Diana sought to escape the relentless pursuit of the paparazzi, her desperate bid for freedom ended in tragedy within the confines of Paris's Pont de l'Alma tunnel. Behind the wheel, Henri Paul, Diana's driver, recklessly raced through the streets of Paris, his efforts to evade the relentless pursuit of the paparazzi only serving to escalate the perilous situation. In the chaotic moments that followed, tragedy struck with devastating force as the car careened out of control and collided with the unforgiving concrete of the tunnel walls. The impact was swift and merciless, shattering the illusion of invincibility that had surrounded Princess Diana and claiming her life in a cruel twist of fate. In the blink of an eye, the world was robbed of a luminous soul, and the royal family was plunged into a grief-stricken abyss from which there seemed no escape. For Diana, the events leading up to that tragic night had been a relentless battle against the invasive glare of the paparazzi, a battle she had fought valiantly, but ultimately in vain. Throughout her tumultuous relationship with Prince Charles, Diana had been hounded by the relentless pursuit of the press, her every move scrutinized and sensationalized for public consumption. Despite her best efforts to elude their grasp, she found herself trapped in a never-ending cycle of intrusion and invasion, her privacy and peace of mind sacrificed on the altar of public fascination. The tragic death of Princess Diana sent shockwaves reverberating not only across the globe but also deep into the heart of the royal family, leaving Prince Charles grappling with the immense weight of grief and responsibility. As the world mourned the loss of the people's princess, Charles found himself thrust into the unenviable role of guiding his sons, Prince William and Prince Harry, through the darkest chapter of their young lives. For Prince Charles, Diana's passing marked the culmination of a tumultuous journey fraught with pain and regret. As he stood on the precipice of unimaginable loss, he found himself burdened with the responsibility of making impossible decisions in the wake of her death. Matt Robbins, a royal expert and producer of CNN's acclaimed documentary series, Diana, aptly captured the magnitude of Charles's burden, describing him as a man weighed down by grief and forced to navigate treacherous waters in search of solace and closure. One such decision, perhaps the most agonizing of all, was the choice to include Prince William and Prince Harry in their mother's funeral procession, a decision that would shape the trajectory of their grieving process and test the limits of their resilience. At the tender ages of 15 and 12, respectively, the young princes were thrust into the spotlight of public mourning, their grief laid bare for the world to see. In the aftermath of the funeral, Prince Charles faced criticism for subjecting his sons to the intense scrutiny of the public eye during such a vulnerable time. In an interview with Newsweek, he expressed regret over the decision, acknowledging the immense pressure placed upon his young sons to bear the weight of their grief in the public arena. Yet, despite the criticism, Charles's decision ultimately proved to be a pivotal moment in the healing process for William and Harry, providing them with a sense of closure and a shared experience that would bind them together in the years to come. The funeral of Princess Diana served as a watershed moment not only for Prince Charles but for the entire royal family, as they grappled with the profound depth of public grief and the overwhelming outpouring of emotion that swept through the nation and beyond. Matt Robbins, a royal expert and producer of CNN's documentary series, Diana, offered poignant insights into the collective realization that dawned upon Prince Charles and his family during that somber occasion. Robbins described the funeral as a moment of profound revelation, a stark reminder of the immense impact that Diana had left upon the hearts of millions around the world. As the solemn procession wound its way through the streets of London and into the hallowed halls of Westminster Abbey, the air was filled with a palpable sense of sorrow and reverence, a testament to the enduring legacy of the people's princess. In the midst of their own private grief, Prince Charles and the royal family were confronted with the overwhelming realization that Diana's death had not only touched the lives of those closest to her, but had also resonated deeply with people from all walks of life. The wave of emotion that swept through the crowds gathered outside the Abbey, culminating in a thunderous applause after the eulogy, served as a poignant reminder of the profound impact that Diana had left upon the world. For Prince Charles, who had shared both the joys and the sorrows of a tumultuous marriage with Diana, the collective outpouring of grief was a deeply humbling experience. As he stood amidst the sea of mourners, he could not help but be moved by the raw intensity of emotion that emanated from the crowd, a tidal wave of sorrow and solidarity that transcended the boundaries of class, nationality, and creed. According to royal sources, whispers began to circulate within palace walls that Prince Charles had undergone a profound shift in his perception of Diana in the months leading up to her tragic death. Similarly, Diana herself was said to have harbored regrets over the dissolution of their marriage, longing for a sense of closure and reconciliation that had long eluded them. Tina Brown, a renowned royal biographer and author of the Diana Chronicles, shed light on the evolving dynamics between Charles and Diana in the final chapter of their tumultuous saga. According to Brown, the closing chapters of Diana's life saw a remarkable thawing of the icy tensions that had long defined their relationship. In a candid interview with The Telegraph, Brown revealed that Charles and Diana had reached a newfound sense of understanding and camaraderie in the twilight of their marriage, with their interactions marked by a surprising warmth and affection. Contrary to the prevailing narrative of estrangement and animosity, Charles and Diana were reportedly on the best terms they had been in years, with their relationship characterized by moments of genuine connection and mutual respect. It was even rumored that Charles would often drop in on Diana at her apartments at Kensington Palace, their encounters punctuated by shared laughter and light-hearted banter. In those fleeting moments of intimacy, the barriers that had long separated them melted away, revealing the enduring bond that had once united them in love. For Charles and Diana, those final moments of reconciliation offered a glimmer of hope amidst the shadows of regret and remorse. In the quiet corners of Kensington Palace, they found solace in each other's company, their shared history, and shared struggles forging a bond that transcended the confines of their failed marriage. The final chapters of Princess Diana's tumultuous journey were marked by a profound sense of heartache and longing, as she grappled with the bitter reality of her fractured marriage to Prince Charles. Despite her own dalliances, including a relationship with Captain James Hewitt, Diana's heart remained tethered to the hope of reconciliation with the man she had once loved so fiercely. According to reports, she confided in Tina Brown, the renowned royal biographer, expressing a poignant willingness to reunite with Charles if he were to extend the olive branch of reconciliation. However, beneath the surface of her outward bravado and stoicism, Diana harbored a painful truth that she could no longer ignore. As Tina Brown revealed, Diana had reached a moment of reckoning, a sobering realization that Charles's heart belonged to another, the enigmatic Camilla Parker Bowles. Despite years of denial and defiance, Diana had come to terms with the fact that she could never compete with the enduring bond that Charles shared with his former flame. In the face of this painful truth, Diana confronted the harsh reality that she could never truly reclaim the love and affection that had once defined her marriage to Charles. Despite her unwavering devotion and her fervent hopes for reconciliation, Diana recognized that Camilla occupied a place in Charles's heart that she could never hope to usurp. It was a bitter pill to swallow, yet in the depths of her despair, Diana found a measure of acceptance, a resigned acknowledgement that some loves are destined to endure beyond the confines of time and circumstance. For Diana, the journey toward acceptance was fraught with anguish and regret. Yet it also offered a sense of liberation, a release from the shackles of unrequited love and unfulfilled expectations. In her final moments, she found solace in the knowledge that she had loved fiercely and had been loved in return, even if that love had ultimately slipped through her fingers like grains of sand. The complex web of emotions that intertwined the lives of Prince Charles, Princess Diana, and Camilla Parker Bowles is a narrative steeped in contradictions, marked by moments of profound connection and enduring love, as well as the lingering echoes of regret and longing. Despite Charles's unwavering affection for Camilla, there existed a bond between him and Diana that transcended the boundaries of their fractured marriage, a connection rooted in mutual understanding and shared experiences. According to Simone Simmons, a close friend of Diana's, the post-divorce relationship between Charles and Diana was characterized by a surprising closeness, a friendship born out of a shared history and a deep-seated understanding of each other's innermost struggles. Diana, with her intuitive empathy and compassionate nature, was able to penetrate the walls of Charles's reserve, offering him a sense of solace and companionship that he had long sought in vain. In the aftermath of Diana's tragic death, Charles was confronted with the painful realization of just how much she had meant to him, a revelation that Simone Simmons contends only came to light in the wake of her passing. In her absence, Charles was left to grapple with the profound emptiness that engulfed him, a void that no amount of affection from Camilla could hope to fill. Despite her status as the love of his life, Camilla's presence served as a constant reminder of the irreplaceable role that Diana had played in his life, a role that left an indelible mark on his heart. For Charles, the loss of Diana represented not only the death of a beloved ex-wife, but also the death of a dream of reconciliation and redemption that had eluded them both in life. In the quiet moments of reflection that followed her passing, Charles may have found solace in the knowledge that their love, though flawed and fragile, had left an indelible imprint on his soul, a testament to the enduring power of their shared history and the enduring legacy of the people's princess. What do you think about Charles's late enlightenment after Diana's death? Leave us your comments in the section below. We hope you have found this helpful video. Don't forget to leave a like, share, and subscribe to the channel if you like it. Thank you for watching this and see you in the next videos. Goodbye.